All right, so now what we're gonna do is we are talking about the motors, or about this thing. Now at the very root of it, that old design was basically two wheels with a platform, and then it had another wheel here, another wheel here, another wheel here, another wheel here. All of these ones could pivot, go either direction. They could spin, right? And just rotate around so that they could change whichever direction, right? And so that's around this little axis right here on these ones. But these ones could sit there and rotate, but they were fixed, okay? Meaning that they were stuck on an axle that went all the way through like that. So let's go, and we're looking at this and we think, what if we take this same exact idea, but we get rid of three wheels? So let's make a three-wheel system, and instead we'll take the wheel and put it back here. We'll get rid of this wheel, get rid of this wheel, get rid of that whole front right there, and we'll shrink it. We'll make this thing sitting like this way, and then we'll make it so she sits right in here. Okay?
We should make it like a square, and in each corner, like a triangle. In each corner has a wheel, and then in the front one just has like another wheel, and then you put the seat on it, and she'll be able to drive around it.
Okay. See, a tricycle has a big wheel in the front. You have the handlebars going right here, right? And you've got this part. Then you've got the supports coming down. You've got a little seat right here. And then off to the sides, you've got a big wheel here and a big wheel on the other side. And that's a tricycle, and it moves in this direction, right? What if we did something similar? We made this go, but instead of steering this way, we controlled the steering in a different way. And this wheel right here automatically just rotated to the direction you were going. So what if instead we take the tricycle, get rid of the handlebars, have this top part, and we put a little seat right here for her to sit. So she can get in this way in the front. She doesn't have to climb over the wheels, and she can drive forward, and that'd be kind of cool. So from the top down, we'd be looking at something like this. You have a wheel here and a wheel here. Okay, you'd have her seat right here. Really good drawing there, right? So she's headed this direction, and then in the back you have a bracket that's coming up over here, right? A little pin here, and this wheel sits underneath that so it can pivot in any direction. So if this wheel goes forward and this wheel goes forward, then she goes forward. So if you go forward, then that makes it so she moves forward. Now, if this wheel goes backward and that one goes forward, so that one's left,
It will make her
that
turn
one's down, which way would it make her turn?
this way.
It would make her turn.
If that arrow.
Which way, Kayla? Which side should I do the arrow on? Yep, it would make her turn that direction. Okay, what if she were to go this way right here?
She would go that direction.
So if she were to go this direction, then which side would the arrow be on, Kayla? Yeah, so she'd actually turn this way. And if they went the same speed, you know what's even better? This one and that one would rotate, and the middle of her body would actually be right in the middle of her turning. She'd be able to have a really tight turn radius, which means that she'd be able to turn almost in the spot that she's already at without having to bump into stuff, which would be really nice for her. So what happens if both of the arrows are going this way?
She would go backwards.
Yeah. So if she controls it, then there's that. So forward, you go forward. Forward, back, he makes it turn right. Back, forward, turns left. Back, turns backwards. And she could even go something like this and a little bit of back and just turn a little bit off to the side. Or just maybe not even that, maybe just forward and a little bit forward. So we can make controls that make it so that she goes and turns in whatever direction she wants to. It'll take a little bit of practice for her to learn to control.
It makes it so that she can go anywhere.
Oh, a joystick, I like that. So we need a simple control. That's another thing we need in our design, right? Okay, now we're looking at this. What do you think about using, instead of using, remember that motor? You had the big long motor, and then you had a gearbox that sits on front of it, so the motor goes in here, turns a bunch of other stuff, and then out here you have another part, and then you have the big huge wheel. Remember how big those were? It was like this wide, right? What if we shrink all of that down into one wheel? What if we turn the wheel into the motor?
Yes.
So an electric scooter works in two ways, and if you look at, well, those are really not even wheels. Those are closer. So you have the drive scooter, right? And sitting there like this. Then you have some sort of bracket right here. Then you've got this back, and then usually something that stands right here. And the person's standing with their foot right here. And you've got a handlebar. Very simple. This one usually has spokes, right? And it's sitting there, and you usually have your brakes on it or something. Maybe your brakes are in the back. But this back one, it actually turns the turning part of the motor into the wheel. So the wheel is the motor. Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
So that means that we don't have to have this big huge thing sticking here. We can actually have just something supporting it here on here and here and here. And we can use two scooter motors to be able to go on either side. There's scooter drive wheels on either side of this bumble, and you'd be able to drive any direction we want to. I don't know if they go backwards. We're going to have to check and see on that. Okay. But those ones, one of the other advantages is, for those of you who know, a brushless motor is going to be a little bit more efficient. Plus, it'll also give the added advantage that she can rev it a little bit, make it speed up, and then she can let go, and she doesn't have to be holding it down the whole time. Where in this motor, this gear motor, if she let go of providing power, it would actually provide resistance, and it would actually slow her down very quickly. That's not exactly a good thing when you're trying to have a smooth ride. So this would be a bit more comfortable just because of the kind of motor. Plus,
we should make it like she just has to touch it one time and put it forward, then take her hand off, and it still goes forward.
That's a good idea.
And then she can untouch it and like put it anywhere else she wants and not have to steer it the whole time.
There you go. See, and Caleb just said it the right way. So we have some generic things that we need to design. We're going to have to make sure the battery is in here. My guess is because we'll have a compartment in the back, kind of similar to what they had before. We'll put the battery compartment right in here. What do you think, Caleb? Do you think we need to have some sort of controls?
Probably like 2 joysticks or 1.
You want 2 joysticks or 1?
1.
Okay, so if we're looking at the actual design of this, what do you think?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Which way does it go?
It goes this way. Here, let's clear that off a little bit so we can see.
Joysticks on the side.
Yeah, here. Caleb's having a hard time seeing.
Oh,
So,
I see it now.
You see it now? So we got wheels here, wheel
She
here,
sits right there.
and she's gonna sit right in here. Alrighty? So I think we got a general design. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna start sketching it up in SolidWorks. I think I'm just gonna take some videos of that, or try to take some videos of it, see if I can learn how to do that. And if I do, and then once I do, we'll get into building it. We'll actually get everything ordered, go through a little bit of how everything works. We'll probably make a few videos about each of the different components in doing this. But long and the short of it, we've got 2 drive wheels. We're gonna have to have some electronic speed controllers, which are basically controllers for those wheels, which we can have all the wiring and stuff sitting in the back here. We can have the motor or the battery sitting in here. And then this one's a free driven roller. Make it so she has like a full-on ATV wheelchair that's electric, and she'll be able to keep up with everybody else. Until next time, hope you have fun goofing off and trying new projects.